As always, 100% cotton t-shirt that's been soaked in soda ash for at least 20 minutes and then spun until it is just damp. It's already flipped inside out, as you can see, since this will be an ice dye. Trying to get these pretty flat. And then I'm going to just draw something like that to start with. That's going to be my initial fold line. I'm going to do just a couple of others that don't follow it perfectly. Probably one there and one up here. Okay, I'm going to pick this center one simply because that's easier. Hold on, this isn't quite lined up. This last batch of shirts seem to be cut a little off or something in there. Not like the normal shirts as far as trying to get them to lay flat. Not sure what's going on with that. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do an accordion and fold this up. And then I'm going to try and find a rubber band that I can drop around that. I think I'll just double this up. Well, because I want it to be able to not have a lot of the white left in it in the final design, and the only way to take care of that is to try and do this with a rubber band. Okay, then I'm going to do this one, and I'm not too concerned about maintaining the accordion all the way through. Alright, as you can see, this is not perfect by any sense of the imagination. It's what I'm going for in this. So I was going to try and touch it up a little, about like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this end part here, since that part's already curving in. That makes this one easier. And then I'm just going to randomly decide if they go in or out. Let's see, that has to go in. I'm going to use rubber bands where I need to just hold this in place. Like that. Very loosely done. I'm going to go ahead and pull this in, but instead of going back around, since this is already curving this direction, I'm actually going to pull that under, pull that around. This isn't something, if you do, that you're going to copy exactly. It's just going to be whatever it kind of free forms into. Alright, since I've got this little bit here, I'm going to pull that back, so that makes the most sense of where to place it. And grab this rubber band and hold this in place right here. Maybe touch that up a little. Alright, work on this in between these two. So that's going to be a pretty tight pull across that. Since I have this little guy loose over here, I'll go ahead and pull a rubber band across that. Just hold that in place. Pull that around like that. Throw a rubber band in there and touch this end right here up a little. Not sure what that's about. We'll tuck that under this. Okay, so do one more there. And then probably one around the perimeter, if I can find one that's going to do that without making it excessively tight. Oh, that works. Then I'm going to pick whichever side I think looks better, and I think I prefer the top as far as the accordion folds over the bottom. I might touch some of this up a little. I doubt it though. Alright, so I think I'm going to leave it like this, and we'll go off to dye. Alright, the dye colors I'm going to be using were carefully selected based on how little was left in the container. Literally, I went through, pulled all the containers that were close to being empty so I could switch them out with new batch numbers, because I don't like to mix the batch numbers. And this is how I ended up with this selection of colors for this. Really complicated. Deep purple, ox blood red, brilliant blue, fire red, deep orange, power berry, and grape. Some of these are really similar, and they are all from Dharma. Some are similar, some aren't, the orange being the weird one. And then the placement for this is very carefully calculated. I'm going to put it wherever. There's literally no rhyme or reason to where I'm going to drop each of these colors. I'm going to do it on this side, and then I'm still undecided on the second side, but we'll call this the random shirt. I don't know. I'll come up with a name later. Let's go ahead and get started with the dye. Alright, let this melt through and then decide what to do with the back side based on what the top looks like. Okay, this first side is finished. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. And for this side I decided to go ahead and do strips of color going down or across. It doesn't really make a difference because there's no way of knowing what is up on this design. I'm just working my way through the colors, and then we'll go ahead and ice it. Alright, I'll let that sit until it melts through, wait about 12 hours, and then we'll do the washout. Alright, it's been 24 hours. Let's do the washout. Alright, let's take a look. It's pretty dark, you can't see much. Wash this in the washing machine and then we'll take a final look. Alright, here's the finished result. As you can see, the pattern as far as what was actually accordion folded. There is some white in here. That wasn't intentional, but it works out. The colors, I would not otherwise pick these colors other than using up what I had. The main reason is you don't apply orange with the blues and purples because you come up with like baby poop brown up in here. There's a little bit of orange, but overall it's like that baby poop brown, and it's not really an attractive color on a shirt unless you're going for all browns, I guess. Anyway, here's the back side. It's basically the same as the front. Things I'd do different, not go with the colors I went with. But again, it was intentional to help use up the remaining bit in those jars. The pattern itself I've been fiddling with. I'm not sure if I posted a video that I've actually done prior to this yet. It may not be published yet, but it is a pattern I've been messing around with, trying to get a specific look. This was an out there attempt, seeing if I could just do it without doing the extra work I put into the other video for the results that were not what was expected. If that other video is already out there, I'll reference it in the description. If not, be on the lookout for op art, and it'll be published at some point. That's really all I have to say about this. I appreciate your watching, and until next time.